One of my favorite ways to integrate asymmetrical tonic neck reflex, especially in your kids that are stronger to begin with, or they're more cognitive, they're able to do the active care that you want them to do, is something that we call a breakdancer. So there's a lot of moving pieces to this, so kids need to have some good body awareness to even start this. But you'll see here, you're getting a lot of really good activation of hip extensors, spinal rotators. They're working against and through some asymmetrical tonic neck reflex motor patterns. They're fixating their eyes. They're bearing weight and having to stabilize their shoulder. There's a lot of layers to this that make it a really powerful way to integrate an ATNR. So we won't show you on the ceiling here, but usually what we'll have is maybe like a sticky note with a star, or we have what's called a VOR picture chart that shows different pictures of animals and shapes and houses and bicycles, like little cartoon pictures. And we'll have the child either point at the star, or we'll have them pick an object that they're going to point the laser to. But I'm just using a handheld laser pointer here that gives them something to visually fixate on while we're motor planning, while we're doing this active exercise. So I'm going to give this to Mr. Taylor, and he's going to demo it, but just know that he's pointing the laser at a target on the ceiling. That's going to keep his eyes fixated on that position. Most important thing with this, well, there's a couple important things, but what you'll see a lot is kids are going to really try to move their feet in different ways. They're going to have really weak glutes. They're going to have really difficult time activating their spinal and hip extensors. And so they're going to find like all kinds of different ways to try to activate and find that movement or perform that range of motion. So sometimes it's really effective if you can just hold their feet. Hold their feet and keep them in one spot. Obviously with Mr. Taylor here, I don't need to do that, but what I'm going to have him do is keep his feet fixated. So I'll even show a kid like, hey, we're going to plant our feet, and I'll give them like a really good visual and like an auditory cue, like my feet are stuck in the ground. My feet are statues here. And I'm going to put my hand down, and I'll put my hand down hard on the carpet so they can hear it and think about like, hey, that's like firm, it's fixated. Like these are my points of contact. From here, what I'm going to have Mr. Taylor do is if we have a right elbow bend, left cervical rotation, asymmetric tonic neck reflex, or if it's bilateral, we can do this on both sides. But in this case, he's going to be doing some left cervical rotation and really extending through his right limb. So I'm going to have him first. I'll kind of break it down, Mr. T, if that's okay. Yep. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have him find his target. So we're going to point it at that target. We're going to visually fixate. And then from there, I'm going to say, lift your belly button up as high as you can in the air. So push your belly button way up in the air. And what I want to see is extension through the hip, rotation through the shoulder, fixation with the eyes, and the rotation of that cervical spine. So tons of moving pieces here. Again, this is an advanced exercise. And then really slowly bring yourself all the way down. A lot of kids just really don't have the eccentric strength to lower themselves under control. A lot of kids won't have the concentric strength or the mobility through their hips to be able to extend all the way. So if you can cue them, sometimes even just giving them a little lift or a little support through their lumbar spine kind of helps them break through that final range there and allows them to find that full range of motion. But right here, what we can do is we can do certain repetitions. A lot of times kids are going to try to work through those repetitions as fast as they can. So we can even set a stopwatch and say, hey buddy, or hey, we're going to do this for 30 seconds. So we can do this nice and slow and controlled. Or if they have good body control, they're cognitive, you can just say, hey, we're going to do these 10 repetitions as slow as we can, or control them as much as we can. But this is a tough exercise, so positive feedback like, hey, you're doing it, or hey, I'll do these with you, that goes a long ways. So I'll break it down again. Feet are planted, arm is planted and fixated or fixed into the ground. We're going to find our target, we're going to fixate our eyes, and then from there, we're going to extend our hips, rotate our thoracic spine, and rotate our cervical spine, maintaining that fixation, okay? Mr. Taylor is doing a beautiful job here of getting full range of motion. We'll kind of show on the other side just in case the camera shows a different view. So we'll switch arms. Again, we're keeping our feet planted. Kids are going to do all kinds of crazy things to their feet. Hold them down if you have to. Give them those visual and verbal cues or the auditory cues. And then again, yep, we're fixating our eyes, extending, pushing our belly button up as high as we can, pushing through our whole foot. But a lot of times you'll see kids just go to their forefoot, so make sure their heels are bearing weight, and then controlling it all the way down. Again, kids are going to want to flop down as fast as they can to get on to the next repetition. Sometimes I'll say, hey, pretend you're on thin ice and you can't break through the ice, or give them some body awareness cues, or just give them the instruction to really do this in a calm, slow, controlled fashion. But excellent exercise for an asymmetrical tonic neck reflex.
Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. To learn more or to schedule an intensive or anything with my team, there's a link below. Just go ahead and click that and that'll get you to the right spot. Have an awesome day.